All right, so Netflix has another Indonesian horror film called Kuyang. It has a long ass title, actually, but this was the title that it has on Netflix. And then when I looked up more on it, it had a ton of words, but I don't know how to pronounce any of them, and I don't know what they mean. So we're going with Kuyang only. And once again, with all Indonesian horror or like Southeast horror, Southeast Asian horror. They always take people who are more from like the mainland and take them back to like small villages. I've talked about this on so many reviews. It's incredible how many of them do this, but that's not really all that remarkable, I guess, because if you take horror movies from, let's say, America, where I'm from, we take people out into the woods. We take them into smaller, like not as densely populated areas, right? Like secluded areas. We take them to areas with just very small population or whatever. This is the tropes, right? Everyone has their tropes, and this is just the trope that I've noticed in the storytelling of all of like Indonesian horror and the like. Anyway. So we've got this couple, and they are brought to this small village as teachers. They're going to educate the students there. There's only like 7 or 8 of them. There's a very, very small class, which one would expect with a very, very small village. There's something lurking in the shadows, some kind of a demon or something. Minor spoiler. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but what kind of monster we're dealing with, or at least one of them, is the Krasu, which I've seen depicted quite a bit at this point, like Inhuman Kiss, and there's a ton of titles now. This is a pretty popular spirit, demon, whatever you want to call it, in Southeast Asia culture. So it makes sense that you see it a lot. I did like the look of it here. I thought it was cool. I thought the effects on it and everything were memorable, and so I did like that aspect of it. Overall, I like the movie fine. I think that it's fairly tropey as far as the horror goes. It's all every setup you've seen a million times before. Very generic, standard in that way. But what it does fine. It's very watchable. I think the thing that's missing here is like the connection to the small village and the people within it. While it does feel somewhat of like a community, like a little small village where everyone's like tight knit with one another, there just could have been more exploration of that, and more exploration of our main 2 characters, Bimo, something like that, her the husband and the wife. If they could have built up their relationship a little bit more, they do it somewhat, and I bought into it enough. This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of this movie is just stuff that was like, okay, like they did enough. Like, they did enough to make me go, okay, But it's kind of all just like the bare minimum, right? And when you just do the bare minimum, your results are kind of just like, okay, like that's you get the effort. Sometimes you take big swings and you have big misses, and then sometimes you play it safe, and the results are about the same, right? You just kind of, yeah, okay. So that's like really how I felt about this film. I feel like if you're into Indonesian horror and you're like a sucker for it, and you're just like, I like the style, I like the feel of them, then this one's fine. Like, this is another one to add to your list. If you're someone who's like tired of them, and you know everyone that they put on Netflix or wherever else, you're like, it's the same shit every time, I'm tired of it, then no. If you haven't seen one, you could check this out, see how you feel with it. There's definitely other ones. The main guy in this is in Satan's Slaves, I want to say, which is a better movie. And Indonesian horror's had some good films as of maybe the last 5 years that I've quite enjoyed. This is somewhere hovering around the middle, but there's a good like twist to this story towards the end that I was like, okay, like that's cool, a little unique, and you definitely want to pay attention to some of that stuff. It's well shot. It's the acting is is good. It's fine. So as I said, everything's just kind of like middle of the road. Like, yeah, it was watchable. It's fine. It's like, that right down the middle, right down the center of the plate, kind of like, okay, I watched that. That was fine. I'll forget it in a month or two, but I didn't hate my time with it. That's it. That's all I got to say. that's that's I'm gonna put as much effort into my review as they did into the movie, which is just kind of like enough. You got the idea. All right, guys.